many celebrities went to Diddy's house thinking they was finna dance?
No.
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach.
To be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room and nigga, come here. Is that two niggas kissing?
You know how many celebrities went to Dennis' house, music, thinking they was going to dance. Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach. To be gay in Hollywood, you never expected they be having these big mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room and __, come here, is that two __. Kissing. So Katt Williams just chimed in on Terrence Howard's recent comments about Diddy, and he's exposing the real reason why Terrence was allegedly silenced by Hollywood. Terrence recently spilled some major tea on the PBD podcast, talking about how celebs had to give up their man card to make it to the top, but years before Terrence decided to speak out, Katt Williams was out here exposing the same shady Hollywood agenda, and everyone was calling him crazy, but now it looks like these two might team up to drop even more industry secrets, and rumors are going around that there even might be a podcast in the works. So what exactly did Katt say about this whole situation with Terrence Howard and Diddy, and are Katt and Terrence really about to join forces to expose even more about these celebs who lost their man card at Diddy parties? Let's break this down. How does that feel? You a grown-ass man, you got to leave at party like that, you can't even sit down in the car, you got to drive all the way home standing up. So I'm sure you've all heard by now that Terrence Howard recently stopped by the PBD podcast and spilled some serious tea about how many celebs gave up their man card at those Diddy parties just to make it to the top. But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card. What is that? What do you mean by that? You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back. Are you saying what I think you're saying? No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time, you give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. But it doesn't stop there. Terrence took it a step further and said this was exactly what happened with those celebs who've been seen partying with Diddy over the years. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties, that was all the people that did all those things, thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing, got punked out and pimped out by some over greater desire. You should have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there, because they get fluid, and next thing you know, once go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from, so maintain your man card no matter what. And then Terrence dropped a major bombshell, revealing that Diddy actually made a move on him and tried to smash. Terrence said that Diddy first came at him pretending to need an acting coach, and later acted like he was interested in his music. But when Terrence's assistant tipped him off about Diddy's real intentions, Terrence immediately cut off all contact. Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it? Hell yeah. What was the consequences when you said no? Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I'm play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me like waiting. Okay, so then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to. That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. So now no more communication. But Terrence also said Diddy wasn't the only one making moves on him. He claimed he had similar run-ins with other producers who tried to come at him with shady proposals, but Terrence wasn't having it and quickly shut that mess down. But he admitted that keeping that no-nonsense vibe caused him some major opportunities in the industry. Number of producers coming to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room, and a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. Now, as you can imagine, social media went wild after Terrence's interview blew up, mainly because we haven't heard any other major Hollywood actor openly say Diddy tried to smash But see, Terrence isn't the first public figure speaking out on this. Years before, others caught on. Katt Williams tried to warn us about Diddy, but no one was listening. Katt even told Fat Joe that Diddy once tried to take him out to dinner and Katt had to tell him no. Yeah, I owe you a dinner, man, and I obviously can't afford to get. I'm like, I told Puffy, I don't let men take me out, sir, I'm good, I'll do no damn. And then last year during his viral interview on Club Shay, Katt took things even further, claiming he had to turn down Diddy's advances multiple times. Now I've had to turn down $50 million four times just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about, right? Cause P. Diddy be wanting the party and you got to tell him no, I did, see, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you, that's why I can say them so freely. So now that Terrence Howard has come forward revealing he had a similar experience with Diddy and had to say no, Katt is showing major support for him. In fact, there were even rumors floating around that Katt and Terrence might start a podcast where they will spill all the tea about their industry experiences. Now nothing set in stone yet, but fans are already losing it because if these two get on the mic together, who knows what kind of messy industry secrets they will drop. One fan on X said, "Will someone please put Terrence Howard and Katt Williams together in a room? If they could manage a podcast together, it would instantly become the most interesting and outrageous media property ever created." And another person added, "Got to love Terrence Howard and Katt Williams also, he's of the same mindset." And this person's got a point because Katt and Terrence have been on the same page when it comes to the entertainment industry and the agenda they believe is aimed at emasculating black men. By now you've probably heard Katt reignite the conversation about the rumored agenda in Hollywood where black male actors are allegedly pressured into wearing dresses before they make it to A-list status, and now sources are saying Terrence Howard is one of the many actors who got blacklisted for refusing to wear the dress. Now this whole idea of Hollywood pushing a more feminine image onto black men isn't new, and a lot of black comedians and actors have spoken out about it. Take Eddie Griffin for instance, he was one of the first to throw shade at Hollywood for making black actors and comedians wear dresses on screen. Eddie spilled the tea on Hollywood's rumored dress-wearing agenda back in 1999 during his comedy Foolish, where he not only starred but also wrote the script in Foolish. Eddie plays Miles Foolishways, an up-and-coming comedian trying to make it in Hollywood. Now here's the wild part, there's this unforgettable scene where the studio execs are literally trying to convince Foolish to wear a dress for a role, saying all the A-listers have done it, so what do you think, it's never been done before. 3 lovable drag queens driving cross-country helping middle America solve its problems. Y'all want me to wear a dress? Foolish, this isn't a throwaway role, you'll be carrying the emotional energy of the movie, man. It's not that I don't appreciate the offer, cause I do, but there's a lot of money involved and we talking a major motion picture here. Foolish, I don't know, man. Harrison, guess Harrison. So yes, that's me. Yeah, I ain't feeling that, man. Can I say something that every actor probably want to say to a couple of gentlemen like yourself? Sure, sir, anything you want to say, go ahead. Yeah, kiss my black. Now fast forward to 2006 and Dave Chappelle spills the tea on Oprah's show, revealing a wild story where he was allegedly pushed to wear a dress for a movie role with Martin Lawrence, and the way he described it, it was straight out of Foolish. Nah, I'm not doing that, I don't feel comfortable with it. That should have been in the discussion. What you don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit, all the greats have done it. Now when Kevin Hart was later asked about Dave's story, he just shrugged it off, saying that kind of thing never happened to him. Definitely haven't ran in to put on the dress. I mean, you have to have boundaries, you have to have limits that you refuse to cross. But just a few years later Kevin found himself in an SNL sketch wearing a dress, and that moment seemed to be a game changer for his career. Suddenly his popularity and success skyrocketed, and some say it's all thanks to that dress moment on SNL. But the dress drama doesn't end there. Katt Williams jumped in, claiming the whole dress thing is tied to whether you decide to dance with the Illuminati or not. So some of us